Hello YouTube and welcome back to Pokegen. Today's the day where I got back not just one but two PSA returns, and this is probably the biggest Pokemon submission that I've done to date with every single card from the first edition WOTC era. So what you see over here on the left is the express submission and on the right is the regular sub. I sent them in the last week of April, and the express sub on the left here came back around 1 week after, followed by the regular sub. So to clarify, this isn't a science experiment and I'm not really comparing the differences between the two tiers. The fact is, they're graded by two different sets of graders, so some differences are to be expected. And do stay tuned to the end of the video because I have a giveaway slab from the two subs here. If you're new to this channel, do smash that like and subscribe button and I'll greatly appreciate it. Alright, let's not wait any further and let's get cracking. We'll start off with the regular sub here, and as they say, the express sub will leave the greater things till the end of the video. So for the regular sub, I actually sent in 16 cards and we'll get to see all the grades that are returned back. Alright, here we go. The first card we have is a main 9 first edition Pokegen. Not a bad start. I would say it's a very good grade. The second card is the first edition Gyarados PSA 8. Not a bad grade as well. We'll take the grade. The third card is the first edition Shadowless Machamp. So this isn't pulled from the base set booster packs. Actually, this card is only exclusive from the Shadowless Twin decks. Now the next card is the first edition Shadowless Nidoking at PSA 8. Now the next card we have is a near main 7. The first 7 we have for the day for Poliwrath. So let's look at the next card we have is a near main to main 8 first edition Venusaur. Not bad. It is one of the big 3 of the original Kanto starters. Now the next card that we have here is the main 9 Zapdos. Personally, I do not really agree with this grade. I think that 9 is probably an overgrade by PSA because I actually did a pre-grade for all of the cards before I sent them in, and this card happens to have some whitening, which is a little bit too much for a 9. I'm not sure why PSA gave this a 9, and as what we can see on the front is actually pretty off-centered. So I'll still take a 9. I'm not really going to sell it, but for any people who are actually looking to buy this card, I presume that the buyers will probably not be very happy with the 9 over here. Now the next card we have is a Min 9 Bulbasaur. I'll put the Min 9 over here, so he's at 9 power. Now the next card we're gonna have is a Gem Min 10 first edition Bulbasaur. Now I know what the community has in mind when they saw this card. Back in the old days, during the hype, there was actually a meme by the collectibles guru, and they call this the 30k Bulbasaur.
If it comes back at 10, based on your estimate.
Of course. Sports card, thanks Sam, no issues.
Okay.
How much? BGS, 10,000, 20,000 plus, maybe 30.
So this card is never really 30k. I would predict that the card probably ranges around 2.5 to 3k in the current market. Our first 10 for the day. Not bad. Let's look at the next card that we have is a Gem Min 10 first edition Squirtle. So we have a second starter over here. Not bad. The next card we have is another Squirtle, and it's also a Gem Min 10 with a slightly better centering. The third card that we have here is a Min 9 Squirtle Now the next cards that we have. Okay, the last few cards I think they're from the New Revelation, if I'm not wrong. So this is the VC from New Revelation, Mint 9. The next card we have is a Mint 9 Houndoom from New Revelation. The next card we have, let's take a look. A near Mint to Mint 8 Raikou from New Revelation. Missed by a little bit to get a 9. I think I missed a card somewhere. Let's hold on. Okay, so there's actually a last card left in the box itself. This is actually the Midnight Suicune. Put in the 9th power. That concludes the sharing for the regular sub. Now I'll move on to the express sub. Alright guys, moving on, we'll now be showing off the express sub returns over here. So the reason why I did the express sub is because the conditions of the cards over here are actually in mid condition or better, and if I were to sub them under regular, I'll probably be upcharged. So I'll rather send them off as express submission. So let's look at the first card. We have another Midnight Alakazam. Now the one thing that you might notice is it actually comes with a different sleeve by PSA. So there's actually a logo over here, whereas we look at the regular sub, it does not have the logo. So it's a better sleeve, I presume. Yeah. Okay, the Midnight Alakazam. The second card, let's see. We have a near Mint to Mint 8 Blastoise. Not bad, one of the starters. And the next card is a Mint 9 Chansey. Chansey is a pretty tough card to grade from base set. In fact, I think this is the toughest card to grade among the 16 holos from base set. So to get a 10 is really tough. The next card we have is another PSA 9 Chansey. Not bad, I'll take the grade. Let's look at the next one. We have a Mint 9 Hitmonchan. Now just looking at the 9th power is stacking up pretty heavily. Now the next card we have is another Mint 9 Ninetales. So I actually have pretty high hopes for this card. I thought it had a chance for a 10. There's actually no whitening on corners or edges. Centering looks almost perfect. No scratches on hollows. So I'm actually not sure why this got a 9, but I'll still take it. The next card we have is a Mint 9 Raichu. So we've come to the last card, and this is a Mint 9 Shadowless First Edition Venusaur starter from Kanto. Very nice as well. Okay guys, so I'll now move on to the giveaway prize for this video. If you have watched on so far, this is the slab that I will be giving it away, and it actually comes from the grading pile over here. This is a Midnight Shadowless Squirtle. I think it's a pity that this card got a 9. I actually think that this has a good chance of getting a 10 if regraded with PSA or with another grading company. Well, if you are talking about BGS or CGC, probably you'll get a 9.5. And so when I submitted these 3 cards together, I actually submit them in the order of 19, 20, 18, 19 and 20. So the first 2 cards actually got a 10 and the last one got a 9, which was to my surprise because when I submitted the cards, the last card is usually the one with the highest chance of getting a 10. So what do I actually mean by this? If I were to use an example of a pre-graded card, so we have the Misty Steers over here. This is the Japanese band card over here. The left one is the one with a weaker grade, I would presume. If we look at the one with the likelihood of getting a weaker score, we usually put them on the first card, and the one with a stronger grade, we put them below. So this kind of gives the grader the impression that if you were to grade your cards, especially for vintage, if you were to grade the first card at a 9, the second card and below, you might have a chance of getting a 10. So this kinds of increase the likelihood of getting a 10. As we can see from the back, actually there's no whitening or scratches. The back is pretty much mint. Only on the front, I would think that this card has off-center issues for the first card, which is why I deem this card to be a weaker grade, and therefore it's on the top. In my past submission videos, I have used the same strategy. It kind of worked in my first 2 or 3 submissions with PSA, but this time around it actually did not work, which came to my surprise. And like I said, this card has a chance of getting a 10, but I'm going to give it away to one lucky winner. So what you need to do to get this slab is to subscribe to this channel and let me know in the comments which is your favorite first edition WOTC Pokemon card. It need not have to be from base set, so it can be from base set all the way from base set to New Destiny. So you can name any of your favorite WOTC Pokemon first edition in the comments and I'll pick a lucky winner from there. Okay guys, so we have come to the end of the video and here's the highlights. So what we have here are the 3 PSA 10s from a total of 24 cards submission, and we also have some of the Evolution Kanto starters. Unfortunately, we do not have any Charizards over here. I do have a Charizard, but it's actually in pretty bad condition, so I actually did not send that in to any sub. So looking at the PSA 10, 3 out of 24 subs is about 12.5% hit rate, which I think is pretty good. And if we look at just the regular sub itself, it's actually 3 cards out of 16, so it's about 18.75% hit rate. And of course, what can we learn from here? Moral of the story is we send for regular or economy. I mean, that's up to you to decide. If your card is really good enough, you can send them in any tier you want. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.